Hello gaming buddies, it's winter in Finland with a bit of a sinus infection, so forgive the low volume of my voice and the raspiness. I feel terrible right now, but I watched a couple of videos already this morning and I've been meaning to make a video on this topic before, but since Andrew, Jason and Sean already made videos, I thought I might make like a general response video to player versus player type of conflicts. Now, as I responded in text to Andrew already, I don't allow those social skills to work on player characters for extremely simple reasons, and there's a good reason why Pathfinder as a default does not allow them to work. You know, it's meant to be a cooperative game. But okay, let's start at the beginning. Before even going into any systems, what kind of game are you running? Is it supposed to be competitive? Are the player characters not supposed to share information freely? You know, hold something back? Does the story have elements that deal with betrayal and distrust, stuff like that? If so, then PvP should be a possibility, and everyone should be aware that it can happen. It should not come as a surprise to anyone. But that aside, if you're not running that type of game, you should avoid it. Now, you might say, why? I've had a lot of great fights between characters and stuff like that. Yeah, okay. But there are very serious problems that follow allowing those kinds of fights to happen. First off, if it shifts the risks within the game in a way that does not promote group cohesion, group thinking, because I can guarantee you some type of players, and these types of players are not even very rare, they will think that, oh, okay, I have to create a character that not only can survive against the monsters, since my last character was humiliated or killed by another player character, now I have to make one that can actually take out other player characters. Do you see where this is a problem? They don't want anyone else getting stronger than they are, so that they can take them out whenever it's necessary. Well, that's already creating an air of hostility around the whole thing. You know, and second, characters have different skills and abilities. A character built for social situations, if allowed so, will dominate any character that is not built in that way, in those situations. Absolutely. And conversely, a combat character will absolutely devastate any character that is not built specifically for combat. But a couple of problems arise here as well. First off, there's no balance in those conflicts. And second, they don't even feel rewarding. Imagine your barbarian beats the party wizard to a pulp in a fist fight, and you go, yeah, right, he got what was coming to him. And all the other tough guys are going over there like, what, my little sister could beat that guy up. What are you celebrating about? You know, it's not it's not all that rewarding. And most importantly, how does all of this serve the story that everyone is trying to tell? Because if there's a player versus player conflict, first off, it's usually only engaging two people at the table. well, kind of three since there's the referee, but it's two people and all the other players are yawning and going, oh, come on already. Because the thing is, people get really easily sidetracked. I would say most easily sidetracked by personal vendettas. They forget anything else. Who cares about this NPC who's talking this, that, and the other? I gotta get Joe because Joe humiliated me in front of the king, and now, you know, and it just keeps on and on and on. It never ends. And worst case scenario, if you don't have a group of experienced role players, I've seen this happen as well. Those grudges transfer to new characters, and at some point you have to, as a game master, just pull the plug on the game and say, okay, enough's enough, and take everyone who's been in these conflicts to task, like really go at them hard and explain why it's not okay anymore. But yeah, and you know, fear and hate, they're strong motivations, not just for people, but for those characters as well. Um, and you know, they build up, they fester, so it's completely reasonable that the character might feel slighted and want to take revenge. But again, you have to put this into context of we're all trying to have fun here. It's a game. Relax. Yes, there could be exciting, harrowing stories, but you know, never forget the primary goal here, which is to have fun and tell an interesting story. And relating to the other thing I mentioned, how can you focus on protecting yourself and others from outside threats when you can't trust the person next to you? If you're always looking over your shoulder. First off, again, slows the game down, almost grinds it down to a halt. Uh, and it just, you might think, intrigue, this is interesting and so tense. It's tense for maybe one session, if that. Then it gets repetitive and, worst of all, boring. And again, all the other players that are not in this conflict, guess what they're doing? Yeah, come on, guys, time to move along. Okay, so Jason, roleplay games had, I mean, this is a rule for anything in your life, really. Don't be a dick. Uh, sure. And he pointed out that the party is supposed to be on the same side. Yeah, because this is a cooperative game, and like I said earlier, don't involve the dice in stuff that's going on between the characters so much. You know, it's again, you're trying to introduce rules where they're not needed. Uh, you might need the rules with NPCs because you know the NPCs are all up in one guy's head and they could be anything. But the guys around the table, they're supposed to be on your team. And as for what Sean said about friendly fire and nerfing weapons, absolutely. Yeah, you can't just start adjusting the game world around the PvP conflict so that, okay, put the kid gloves on and let's have a real neat match, and once it's over we shake hands and go have an ice cream sundae. No, guns kill people, swords slash limbs off, you have to keep the world and the risks in the world still consistent. But this is a topic that is very tricky to handle and can create, I think this is the one that can create most problems in any role-playing game. But overall, I think you shouldn't have it. Yeah. thank you for watching, and have a nice day. Bye.